Hi. Hello. Can you see me now? Un momento. Sometimes I love ya. Sometimes you make me blue. Times I feel good. Sometimes I feel used. Loving you, darling, makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out of love. Can y'all see me now? You guys can see me now? Yay! All right. Succubus ass mofos are testing me today. What I was saying is we still have the raffle going on. Okay. If you haven't already joined that, please do. We're gonna have it going on for another I think about 2 weeks before we pick a winner. Oh, sorry, I ear smacked y'all. In addition to that, if you look at the screen at the very bottom, I have something scrolling at the bottom. The crawler is letting y'all know I have the Iwa Mofo revocation kit. Okay. So this is a very, very special revocation kit. If you were watching yesterday, this is geared towards succubus and incubus energy, demon horitas, And with that, the horitas have been going strong lately, very, very strong lately. So if you're dealing with that type of frequency, go to the website /shop/iwamofo revocation sharamamdai and you can get it there. These are 3-day ceremonies. If your situation is extremely pronounced, you might want to get 9 days worth and do it continuously for 9 days. Now they're not normal type ceremony. Okay. It is not uncommon. I want to make a disclaimer. It is not uncommon for these to burn crazy. Okay. They are not to be left unattended. Let me repeat that. Do not leave this unattended. Do not leave candles burning unattended. All right. All right. That's on the freaking thing as well. All right. So, yeah, Iwamofo. There it is. There it is. All right. So, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told, things are getting crazy, and ego is making it so much worse. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I love ya. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. My cards are stuck. Sometimes you make me blue. At times I feel good. Sometimes I feel used. Loving you, darling. I'm just not feeling today. I'm not going to feel very much better if I don't release my internal assholery. I've been pissed off since last night. I have, it's true. I've been pissed off since last night because I came across this I don't know. I didn't like the person at all. I was out and I came across someone that I did not like. This is my first time meeting them. I did not like them. I was not vibing with them at all. And having had to interact with them, succubus energy. Yeah, no, ruined my workout and everything. I still haven't let it go yet, guys. I need to let that go. It's hard. It's hard because I had to play nice. It was hard. It was hard. I don't like when people lie to me. And this person bold face lied to me in person. Bold face lied to me, smiling at me with teeth that look like they come from a golem. And I was just like, oh no. Oh no. I was just a golem energy for real, like a real golem, not Smeagol golem. I'm just saying. It's gonna be okay though. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna rectify my attitude. And I think the way my attitude is going to be rectified today is I'm going to coerce my husband to take me to this amazing Vietnamese restaurant. This amazing Vietnamese restaurant. Oh no, it's not Vietnamese. It's Thai. It's Thai food. And they were really, really nice there. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to eat tremendous amounts of like the only two things that I can have. Seriously. Tom Yum. Yes. And then I don't remember. It's like a papaya salad. And it's just, it has the same level of sour energy that I'm embodying right now. I'm making myself super hot. All right. All right, let me get over myself. I can't even properly face my fan towards me. I'm surging energy thinking about this person. I should just go back and be like, listen, bitch. Shit. I know you're both face fucking lying to me. Oh my God. No, you're not going back there. You're not going back there unless you want to offer her some advice on her fake ass lush. Shit. Stop. Stop. Stop being that way. Girl, yo, this girl had me so pissed off. Okay, it's fine. Prosperity. Whew. So, you can enter into a space of prosperity within your life if you allow yourself to let go of all of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to let go of all of these attempts to derail you, to all these attempts to affect your journey and get you to focus on things that you don't need to focus on. It's important that you're cognitive, that you're very, very aware of what's being attempted. Now, I know what's being attempted with me is to try and get me so focused. You know what it would, you know what it was? Is the face that she made. The face that she made when she was talking to me. I was just like, I might be twice your age, but honey, I'm saying, I'm saying, oh, I'm not a perfect person. Sometimes I struggle in the face of horridas. This is why I don't go out. If you want to succeed at what it is you're trying to accomplish, you need to let this kind of stuff go. You need to absolutely let this type of stuff go. I've been trying since last night to let this go. Let it go. Let it go. Let her troll ass teeth go. I have to talk shit. I cannot help myself. Protection. Okay. Protection in reverse. If you're going to be behaving in a way that is less than who you are, then your natural protective code will be thinned. Okay. Your shields will be thinned. The energy that goes to your shields for your protection will also be affected. And that's why I've been trying to let it go since last night. I've just been trying to let it go since last night. Literally since last night. I feel myself becoming depleted. I'm not yet susceptible to parasitic breach, simply because I'm now, my energy is looking for a fight. My energy is looking for a mother freaking fight. And with that, things are not going to try right now. But here's the thing: if I don't get in control of myself and my emotions and my irritation, I'll eventually get breached. This is a period where there is a lot of attempts, like a lot of attempts to breach you. And no, I'm not telling you this so that you can be scared. I'm telling you this so that you can be aware when people are irritating you. When, you have someone who is like clearly being antagonizing, you have to pause and be like, and just walk away. Just walk away. Like literally walk away. Okay? It's really important during this period. Catherine Mary says, had to focus on only breathing for a whole hour last night to calm myself down. Oh, you felt it too? Was it really late last night? Like really super late last night? Because I went to the gym after I was done with all of my sessions, and I was like severely overbooked yesterday. And I didn't get to the gym till super late. Okay, power, witch's hat. It's in reverse. So sometimes when you flex your power, you're actually doing the opposite of flexing your power. All you're doing is showing the different pathways that your energy will take. And then now they know what pathways to basically attack. So you have to be aware of how you handle yourself, especially out in public right now. Things are getting crazy and ego is making it so much worse. I didn't realize that the message was for me because I was still in tension. Okay. So when this card comes up, it's this sense of like, if your intention is to be someone's karma, there in this period, you're probably going to be creating your own karma. Okay. You're probably going to be creating your own karma, and I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it. Part of what I got all flustered about last night is I convinced my husband to join the gym with me. And I was signing him up last night, and they were trying to tell me that they wanted my banking account number. And I was like, no. You can auto debit like a credit card, but I'm not giving you my routing and account number. I've had bank fraud happen to me before. And really my husband kept saying like, just forget about it. Let me just bring me in as your guest. And I'm like, no. I wouldn't listen to him. I was like, no, I'm getting you a membership so we don't have to deal with it later. And what was my intention? Yes, granted, my intention was pure in that I wanted to get him a gym membership so that he could enjoy all the perks with me. But when I was already told, like, it's not something that's going to happen, I should have just left that alone. I should have just left that alone, but I had to keep insisting. Like, really? They just did that for me. So I got another girl in trouble. Oh my God. And she was mad at me. And I think that's what really upset me the most was like, she was really sweet. She was really, really nice. I had called in over the weekend and was like, hi, I've had bank fraud happen to me before. So I really don't feel comfortable putting my account number in anyone's system. Is it possible for me to come in and just put it on my debit card or a credit card, and you guys can auto debit that? And she said yes. And she did it for me. She did it for my son. But then, my husband wasn't with us. So last night when I went to go do it, it was a different girl. And she's like, there's no way for us to do that. And I was like, really? That was a point of I should have just been like, "Oh, okay." But no, I knew she was lying. I knew she was lying, and that's the thing. These parts of you that can be so ridiculously pure can be the very thing that they exploit to really access your space. So now I've been obsessing about this since last night. I've been obsessing about this since last night because I want to call her out and be like, "You lying ass hoe." And watch me get banned from that gym. "You lying ass hoe." Oh my God. I can't go back to that gym ever again because if I see her, I will say that I have zero impulse control. I will check in and be like, "Hey, lying asshole. Hey, I'm gonna go work out now, lying asshole." I can't go back. Oh my God. Now I have to find somewhere else to go. Damn it. Or maybe I could just ask when her schedule it. They're not gonna tell me that. They're not gonna tell me that because they're gonna think that I'm gonna do something to her. But I actually all I want to do is avoid her. I don't want to see her face. Spell manifestation. When you allow yourself to recognize that your fixation is the very thing that's going to manifest the issue, you begin to empower yourself with the realization that you are creating the issue. Okay. You are creating the issue for yourself. Like, I shouldn't even be thinking this. I shouldn't even be fixated like that. I need to just be like, listen, bitch was just jealous because she knows she saw my shit on her screen. I'm twice as old as you, bitch. I still look cuter. I still look cuter. I'm just saying. No, let me stop fucking around. Let me really stop fucking around. I mean, it's not a lie that I'm cuter, but I'm just okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. I should call her Lala. I should. Hey, Lala. She's like, "Oh, I'm not Lala." Yeah, you are. Shit. No, you're Lala. I swear. You're totally Lala. And she's gonna think, she's really gonna think like, "Oh shit, she think I'm Lala." It don't mean something cute, girlfriend. I think the thing is, I'm not compatible with this region. I'm just not compatible with this region, is what it is. All these motherfucking workers be acting like they're doing my ass a favor by doing their job. The fuck? Huh? Oh, God. Girl. Mm-hmm. Let me just let me get in control of myself. I think I need to eat is what it is. Candles, magic. That revocation. Revocation. There's a lot of agitating frequencies that are being released into the atmosphere. There are certain types of technologies that exist that I can't talk about on public live streams. But there are certain types of technologies that exist that have the capacity to hyper or hypo stimulate the amygdala, your aggression center in your brain. It also will go ahead and access your retrorubral fields, which that's a very part of your brain that assesses for danger, for potential threats, right? So it's this thing of allowing yourself to be aware that there is an attempt to derail your progress. There is an attempt to utilize your ego, even if it's justified, there's this attempt to really, really get you to behave in ways that are less than you, are less than what you know you want to conduct yourself as. And I'm not going to say, "Oh, you're better than this." No, you're exactly where you're at, but it's less than what you want from yourself. right? So my behavior last night, I mean, I didn't argue with her. I was just like, "Oh, really?" Um, I didn't get loud. I wasn't arguing. I was just like, "Oh, well, they just did this for me." Um, but that was kind of like less than what I wanted to do in an interaction. Be aware. Be very, very aware. Allow yourself to really um, pay attention to the feelings that are rising up. Where does it come from? Is it justified? Is it something that is being used to try and trigger you? Triggering is not just upsetting you. For many people, they use words and concepts they don't really understand. Many of us do this. Okay. Um, when you're triggered, people think that it's just, oh, I'm triggered. That means I'm mad. No, that's not triggered. Triggered is when whatever it is that you are facing in that moment, it is triggering the return of a previous experience. And now you're having the same hormonal content in your body during that very stressful or whatever experience that you had previously. You're in that same mindset. Your blood is probably pumping through your body because now you're entering into a fight or flight, just all sorts of different processes. It has nothing to do with just being angry. It has everything to do with your memory being triggered, and that triggering, recalling that situation you've already lived through, and that being superimposed on the situation you are currently experiencing. So some people will be used to trigger you in order to first thin your shields, right? Got to thin your shields before they can access you. Um, if you have very developed um, ability to defend yourself, ability to um, like maintain your auric field and yada yada yada, it's going to take quite a bit of effort. And in order to facilitate that parasitic effort, they're going to do things to trigger you, to cause the return of old stressful situations that can be overlaid on current, not as stressful situations. And now I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working out at that gym and I'm going to make her want to be my friend. I'm going to make her want so badly to get my attention and be my friend. And then I'm going to ignore her. That is so catty. Yeah, no, that's catty. I'm not doing that. I would love to, though. But that's catty. And that's the thing. It's okay for you to run through all of these scenarios in your head and allow yourself to process like the things that you would want to do just to be a total bungholio, but then not actually do it. It doesn't make you a bad person to have these thoughts of the different things that you can do to be a jerk, but not actually do those things. We think that we have to always hold ourselves to some standard of like, oh, I have to always be nice. No, she was rude as fuck. It was very condescending. It was very antagonistic, her approach, and she couldn't lie. So I called her out on everything. So her face turned all red, but I wasn't being argumentative. Right. And just because I'm having this response does not make me a bad person. It means I'm having a real experience and I'm going through the process of helping myself to really, really remain within the parameters that I have set for myself. Like, no, I'm not going to participate in catty behavior. I'm capable of catty behavior, but I'm not going to participate in it because, you know, I've just grown past that. I grew past that a long time ago. I don't need to return back to that. I just don't. What am I going to do? Like prove to her that no, Policy is their policy. Someone made an exception for me over the weekend. They're not willing to now. That's fine. I wanted to pay for my husband's subscription to your gym. As part of the perks of my membership, I can bring in as many guests as I want, as often as I want. So I guess he has a free membership now. I wanted to be able to pay for him. You don't want to accept that? Okay, free membership for him. Praise Jesus. And I have to see it that way. I have to go through the processes of having these petty ass thoughts, having these moments where I can just like talk my shit to myself. Granted, how many of you guys are watching me talk shit? But that's the thing. Like it's just been this thing of me going through my emotions. Now, if we're really realistic, I'm sure she's a good person. I'm sure she's very friendly. I'm sure. For whatever reason, me asking in a nice way triggered her last night. And because she got triggered, I got triggered too. And that's really at the end of all of this, that's all it is. She got triggered and she tried to compose herself. But I could tell. And so that triggered me like, why the hell are you taking this personally? It's just a simple question. And we have to allow ourselves to process the reality of what's happening, how we're perceiving what's happening, and the difference between the two. That is how you negate your ego. That is how you get the ego to show you the places within yourself that still need the attention, that still need some bits of recalibration, some bits of observation. It's a beautiful opportunity to grow if you treat it as such. But if you're totally going to have, like how I was having all morning up until now, this struggle with allowing myself to process, not moving beyond the irritation, the lower frequency emotions, you're going to be stuck in that for a while, and you're going to go ahead and deplete your energy doing this. You're just going to. So there's this one burger spot that we tried when we first arrived, and every single time we've gone there, they've really messed up all of the orders, and they have tremendous amounts of attitude. And we've gone there a couple times. And so I'm like, you know what? It doesn't even matter who makes the food. Like, I just don't want to go there at all. Like, thinking about it, I lose my appetite. I don't want to eat nothing from there. Like, nothing at all. I don't care. I don't want to eat anything from there at all. And that's the thing. If you know the environment that you're entering is consistently the way it is and you're not compatible with it, this is the period where you need to begin making some decisions about not entering that environment anymore. Because if you're going to enter into those environments knowing how that environment exists and you're not compatible with that, like what's your intention there? What is your goal? Like, I'm not going to be bullied. Are you being bullied or are you being the bully? Like, seriously, are you forcing an establishment to operate in a way that they don't operate? If they don't operate in that way, they shouldn't be receiving your payment. You should be going to a different company, a different business that can do what you're asking them to do. This is the period where we have to really be honest with ourselves. Now, I happen to get the gym membership that I can go to any of their gyms across the nation. I will rather drive 30, 40, 50 fucking minutes one way than see that girl again. Why? Because, I'm weak and no. Because I know I'm going to want to go in there and I'm going to want to dominate her. And do I need to do that? No, I'm an adult. I don't need to do that. I don't need to prove to her or to myself that I don't like her behavior. that I didn't like her approach. That's just my personal opinion. That doesn't make more valid. My opinion does not make it more valid, because it's coming from me. Well, she has her opinion. She has her opinion. And granted, it did not help that I could read her mind. It did not help that I could read her mind. I know what she called me. I'm like, "Oh, Imma show you one." In my head, Imma show you one. Imma show you what that's really like. And then I was like, "No, I'm not." Because I looked at my husband, he's like, "Okay, no, I'm not. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone." So, secret in reverse. You don't have to be secretive about what you are struggling through in this period. If you have specific people that you can trust, that you're worthy of, why can't you tell them? Why can't you tell them what you're struggling through, what you're going through? What is it that's going on? What is it? Are you afraid that they're going to condemn you for being who you are? Well, if you trust them, that means they've shown you that they're not wanting or needing to condemn you, that you are safe, your emotions are safe with them. So why can't you allow them to continue to be the safe space for you, right? Winter in reverse. So it's like this is a continuation from efforts that were put into play during the winter time. Like a lot of very disruptive, very agitating type energies, frequencies. And when you allow yourself to really take a look, is this attitude situation, whatever it is you're going through that's causing an uptick in your salt, is this something that has been brewing since like the winter time? Is it something that's been brewing for a few months? Or you feel like, consistently random people will treat you in a way that makes you feel as though people at large um, don't respect and don't value you, like they don't consider your needs. And maybe the issue is not necessarily these random people. Maybe the issue is something within yourself where you continue to disregard your own needs. What I've realized for myself, when I begin to disregard my own needs, my soul will go ahead and bring projections of that into my environment. It will bring people who will treat me in the way that I'm silently treating myself. And then I end up having my little tantrum, and I get really upset, and I have this little tantrum, and then I realize like, no, I don't deserve to be treated that way. And then that's my moment of aha. That's my moment of clarity where it's like, oh gosh, I've been doing that to myself. So now I have to take a look, like this burger place, this girl, a couple other employees. Am I doing that to myself again, where I am disregarding what it is that I actually need, right? And yeah, I've kind of been disregarding what I actually need. So now I have to do that work within myself if I want my environment, my external environment, to also change. Homecoming. You have to allow yourself to come home to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to allow yourself to come home to yourself. You have to. You have to stop pushing yourself away. You have to stop seeing yourself as the problem. So, me and my gym situation, that's not just me having a problem. I'm sure she's having an issue too. That's two people having two separate issues, and their issues colliding into a unified experience of now we're having an issue with each other, you know? It's this thing of recognizing we are two individuals having our own separate issues. And maybe I need to excuse myself from that. Maybe I need to take this time to really assess my issues. So Melba says, my voice hasn't been valid to them, yet I still go out my way for them. Total disregard. Melba, nothing. Respect. Recognizing that respect to self is usually the impetus for others to respect us as well. Where if we can't, if we refuse to respect ourselves, then really a lot of people will take that as, oh, then I don't have to respect you either. You don't respect yourself. I don't like that logic, but that's how a lot of people's logic is. When you continue to give people chance after chance after chance after chance after chance because of just, mm, mm. It then becomes it's something you've conditioned people to believe is okay. It's something you have conditioned people to believe is okay because of your continuation to um, deal with them, to overgive, to over this, to over that. You know, once that dynamic is established, it's very hard to change it. It's very, very hard to change that dynamic. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you need to do. I just know that if you don't like how you're being treated, you need to start making some decisions and continuing to go out of your way for someone after they've continued to disregard you. It's not going to make them suddenly take your feelings and your needs into consideration. Quite the opposite. When someone continues to disregard you and you continue to overgive, that rewards their poor treatment of you. How do I know this? Because I've done that for so long. It's not a case of I just need to be sweeter. I just need to be more patient. I just need to be more understanding. No, you need to be realistic with yourself. You need to be very realistic with yourself, very, very honest with yourself about what you continue to teach people. Excuse me, what you continue to teach people to treat you, like how they treat you. A lot of that has to do with how you've taught them to treat you. I have this habit of being like excessively nice to people in my real life, like excessively nice. Um, yeah. And then they get comfortable. Like when they reach more intense levels of access to me in my personal life, then they get comfortable. And then the reality of who they are and how they see me begins to come out, where they think that it's okay to be hypercritical of me as a human being and the way I process my life, the way I live, decisions I make, you know, down to my emotions. And it's like, I'm sorry. What's going on here? Oh, I convinced you that it was okay to think that you are superior to me in my life and that you have a right, an obligation to me to tell me all the things I need to change about myself. And see, the really crazy thing about it is I'll see this and I'll convince myself, like, no, that's not what they're doing. Stop it. Don't be that way. That's not what they're doing. They're just comfortable around you now and they're just trying to help. No, they're being the asshole that they are. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and I'll tolerate that and tolerate that and tolerate that for months, sometimes years on end. I'll just keep tolerating it. I'll keep making excuses. I will. And what I've seen and continue to see as I do this with every single situation that I allow, not saying it's my fault, not saying I deserve it, but I allow it. With every situation I allow, they develop more and more this sense of, oh, I'm doing the right thing. Oh, yeah, no, she recognizes that I'm an amazing friend and she's lucky to have me. How many of you have had that happen? How many of you have this feeling of whenever I become friends with someone, they're always nice in the beginning. But given enough time, that's how it always ends. Melba, I think you should take your own advice for everyone that treats you that way. And girl, I say this to you because I have so much love for you. You have the same situation for all these years that I've known you, the same situation of being treated the same exact way. And you're aware of how you're being treated, but you don't do anything to correct it. Not from what I've seen. You don't do anything to correct it. You continue to allow people to treat you poorly as though that's all you deserve. And you know damn well that's not all you deserve, but I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. I'm just not. I'm not, because when I do that and then I hear and see you still going through the same situations with the same people, it irks me. It irks me. It triggers me in a way where it's like, why do I keep saying things then? And you're just not going to listen to me anyways. And that's not my place to take that stance, because you're a grown ass woman. You're a sovereign. And it's not for me to dictate to you how to reach that place of peace. But it is my place to dictate to myself how much distance I have to create in order for me to not care so deeply that every time you hurt, I feel it too. It's hard. It's hard when you are an empath and you feel every other person's pain and you can see clearly what the solution is, yet you can't implement it for them. And then there's this realization of like, maybe these are echoes of the person I used to be, the person I am, the person I'm becoming. And I'm seeing this so that I can be reminded of this, right? Yes, I got told I'm not doing anything about it. I responded, you better thank God. They don't need to thank God when they can thank you. You're making these decisions, not God. God's not giving them any graces. God's just sitting and watching how things unfold. And they're unfolding in the way that you choose. And this applies to all of us. Our life unfolds in the way that we choose. We have to stop externalizing and blaming some deity, some essence, some creation story. We have to stop doing that. We have to stop sitting idle, praying for the change that we ourselves can implement, but choose not to. We have to stop. When you just pray and don't put any action behind the prayer, the likelihood is nothing will happen, no change will occur. And when no change occurs, despite how hard you prayed, you then are at risk of thinking, believing, maybe God doesn't care. Is it God that doesn't care, or is it us? Maybe we don't care enough to really, really put our efforts into ourselves. And we think that if we put more effort into other people, then they'll be obligated to put some effort into us. And they're not obligated to do anything. I had to learn this the hard way. I cannot continue to seek my heart and my integrity to be given to me through other people. If I'm afraid to love myself, I need to be honest with myself about that and deal with the root causations of why I'm afraid to receive my own love. And once I do that, I will no longer be externalizing my need. I can find that and fulfill that from deep within myself. But for most of us, we go outside of ourselves. We look for us from other people, coming out of other people's heart space. Honey, just because you overgive doesn't mean they have to reciprocate, because they don't. They just don't. They don't. I can give as much as I want to give. No one has to pay me back. No one has to do anything, anything because I did something for them. Because if that's what you're doing, if you're doing things for other people and now they're obligated to do for you as well, then you're not doing something out of the kindness of your heart. You are prepaying for a service they're not aware of that you are purchasing from them. That's manipulation. That's not okay. If you're going to give, then give. If it is a loan, then you have to state that from the start. Hey, I'm going to pick you up and drive you to your appointment, but later on, I need you to do something for me. That's fair. That's not manipulative. If you let someone know before you do it, I'm expecting something in return later, then they have the opportunity to then decide for themselves, is this a fair exchange? Do I want this? Is that too high a price to pay for your help? Could you imagine if a guy said to you, hey, I'm going to take you out to dinner, but after dinner, I'm expecting a little boom, boom, what would you say? Versus the guy who's like, oh yeah, no, order anything. It's all good. It's all good. And you guys are having an amazing meal, talking about all kind of stuff. And then afterwards, it's this very uncomfortable feeling of, well, now you gotta, I paid for dinner. Because that's what emotional manipulation is. It's just like that. It's just as much of a violation as that. Or someone is trusting you, they're in a position of vulnerability. And that's why you're helping, right? Because they need help. That's predatory behavior. It is. It's predatory behavior. And whoever can get upset with whatever I'm saying, but show me where I'm lying. Show me where I'm exaggerating. Show me where I'm just trying to shame people. Because in my logic, you should be fucking ashamed if you do this kind of shit. You have no space to be like, I feel judged. Why don't you judge yourself? Why don't you discern for yourself how fucking manipulative you're being? I'm the last of your worry if you do this kind of shit. I'm literally the last of your worries. What am I going to do to you? What? I don't even know who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's this thing of really holding ourselves accountable for what it is we're going through. I don't want to talk about certain topics. Michael, I don't want to do that deck. I don't want to show the last card from the previous deck. For some, you're in an upside down union. Okay. For some, you've gone ahead and you've tried to come correct in some type of connection that was already upside down to begin with. And you tried to convince yourself that you can rectify this. You give it one last shot. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You already knew that though. Balance, emotions, patience. So the emotions are upside down. There is no balance because balance is in reverse. And we're over here thinking we just need patience. No, you need action at this point. For some of us, we think that we're just being patient when in reality, that's not patience, that's avoidance. We have to be able to call ourselves out on what we are doing. We have to be able to really, really, really call ourselves out, recognizing we're avoiding this and we're avoiding that, not attacking ourselves, but allowing ourselves to see, like, this is something that I'm doing. It's causing discomfort, unhappiness, discord in my life. And so I need to do something about it. And, making excuses is not going to help you. You have to be fearless in your surrender to yourself in your life. Okay. You have to go ahead, and maybe the better word is be courageous. Have courage in the face of fear. Have courage in the face of fear. You have to surrender to your process. Let go in reverse. So, for many of us, we think like, that surrender involves holding on. It doesn't. It doesn't. Mother Earth and upside down choices. We live in an upside down world. And the choices we make based on society's concepts, it doesn't help us to regulate ourselves. Instead, it causes us to go into these spaces where we treat ourselves even more poorly. Awakening in reverse, soul separation, warrior spirit in reverse. The soul separation, I don't think it has to do with a relationship. Maybe this is like something outside of the relationship that you're in. This might be like you feel separated from another person, and in that separation, it became like this thing of losing your ability to fight for yourself, stand up for yourself, losing your spine, going into a space of just really lacking the awareness because you choose not to see. When you choose to cover your eyes, you are not blind. You still can see. Choosing to be blind is not the same as actually being blind. Choosing to pretend like you don't understand is not the same as actually not understanding and therefore not being able to decide. When you are aware of what is happening in your life, you are accountable whether you want to see it or not. You are accountable for that. That is on you. I'm not saying you deserve it. See, I don't know. There's someone watching that has an absolute victim mentality, and it's just irritating the shit out of me. Mm. If you want to be a victim, go ahead. You will find no shortage of other people who will be willing to victimize you. So go ahead. That is a life you choose for yourself. And if everything I say triggers you, stop victimizing yourself and go watch someone who is tutti frutti, sugary sweet, and will tell you your twin flame is waiting to come back in your life. Because it irks me. It irks me to no end. To no end. Is this something that needs to be addressed, or is this just my ego cycling through to clear out the spaces that need to be cleared? I have to ask myself that question right now. Is this another situation of my ego making things worse for me in order to make things better? Or in that making it worse, it's bringing my attention to the spots within me, my logic, that still needs some recalibration, that needs to be a little less intense, not because I need to make other people feel comfortable, but because the level of intensity is just not appropriate for the situation at hand. See, I give myself the freedom to be as intense as I am, but it has to be appropriate for the situation at hand, right? So now I'm going through my own self accountability check, and I am having discussion within myself. What is this morning really about? What am I needing to learn? I can feel energy and frequency just wildly out of control. I don't even think that it's mine. I think I'm just being affected by it. So, what do I need to do? Well, I have two choices: get back in fucking control of myself and my emotions and my words, or end the live stream if I can't control myself. Lack of self regulation is not an option. I don't get to sit here right now and be like, say whatever you want, girl. It's the truth. No, it is not okay to use the truth to unload and lash out just because I'm already frustrated about something else. Right. So that's not okay. So those are my two options. And I have to figure out, what am I going to choose? Am I going to recalibrate my communication, or am I going to end the live stream? Well, you know, if I'm going to get back in control of myself, if I can go ahead and recognize whatever emotions I'm feeling, I need to begin separating what is mine and what is not mine, so that I can recenter myself in my truth and begin to conduct myself in a way that's worthy of me and the goals I have set for myself in my personal life. Um, the level of self-regulation I believe I deserve, then okay, that's okay then. That's okay. And I'm feeling like I'm leaning more towards that versus just being pissed off and ending the live stream pissed. Because then what does that teach me? What does that teach you? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It sends a very strong, very loud message of, you know what? Because I'm having a human moment right now, I need to be ashamed and I need to hide this away because I can only show you when I'm strong. And do you know how strong you have to be able to face yourself publicly? So then I guess that's the answer. Pushing through and finding my courage in the face of my fear that I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. Finding my courage to make a decision to put myself back in center, not hoping and praying and trying to be logical and trying to find, you know, some type of energetic thing that I can do to shift me and blah, blah, blah. And all of those things are powerful. They can be effective. But in this moment, I have to pick myself up and put my ass back in my seat and let myself know, sit the fuck down, sit down. Sit down, recalibrate yourself. And that's what this conversation is, a recalibration, a refocusing. What is your intention this morning, Emmy? To speak truth. Okay. How are you going to speak that truth? in the most compassionate way I can possibly muster. And what will you do if you can't muster the appropriate level of compassion for the situation at hand? I will pause and self regulate. I will not hide. I will not shrink myself down. I will not tell myself to be quiet. I will audibly self regulate. I don't need to tear myself down. I don't need to attack myself. I don't need to degrade myself. I don't need to do any of those things. Why? Because I'm worthy of love too. Even when I'm poorly behaved, I'm worthy of love too. And am I really poorly behaved? To my perception right now, yes. But am I being fair in the way I perceive myself? Not really. Oh, so then what just happened there? A realization. This realization that I'm holding myself to an unfair, unrealistic standard that I would never hold anyone else to. And if I would never hold anyone else to that, I sure as hell should not hold myself to it. Where I should have the room to grow, to expand and contract within my own circumstance. Things can get crazy, but my ego doesn't have to make it so much worse. I can self regulate without attacking myself, without ridiculing myself. I can self regulate. Protection sigil. Sometimes you have to protect yourself from yourself. Sometimes. Rejuvenation sigil. Allowing yourself to pull the energy back in, to nourish you, to recalibrate you. All of that energy you would have expended on attacking yourself, on attacking someone in your environment, verbally, emotional, whatever it is, pull it back in. Use it to rejuvenate the areas that became depleted. And because of those depleted areas, you then became misaligned. New dimensions in reverse. This is telling me you don't need to go to a different place. You need to begin addressing what's happening here and now. Here and now, right? Redirection sigil in reverse. Again, just like the new dimensions. Sometimes we make it this goal to reach a different dimensional level of consciousness or to redirect ourselves because we are so effing smart that we have the ability to use logic as a justification for our avoidance of our life. Do you use logic to justify your avoidance? You want to avoid certain things and it's like, oh, that's toxic. I don't think about toxic things. That logic in itself is toxic. Avoiding something does not negate its existence. It's a surefire way to ensure that that thing will continue to multiply and become a bigger and bigger problem for you. Receiving sigil, allowing yourself to receive. Allowing yourself to receive what's necessary to turn you right side up. The receiving sigil is in reverse. That means we haven't been allowing ourselves to receive the truth of what it is we're doing, the way we're behaving within our lives. Whatever I say, it's not me admonishing you. It's not me attacking you. It's not me pointing out how you suck. It's me letting you know I see you and I see you're not happy with your existence. And this is one of the things that's maybe making you feel unhappy. You're still good enough as you are, but if you shift that, you might feel a little bit happier with where you are and who you are. Because really, that's what I found for myself all the time. Whenever I identify the root causation of my frustration, my irritation, my anger, my sadness, whatever the emotion is, I then begin to like recognize, you know, I think that's why I'm feeling a specific sort of way towards myself or towards my life or towards whatever it is. I'm feeling some specific type of way, and it's because I need to correct this. Your emotions are guiding you to the places within yourself and your life that need the corrections. Blu-ray awakening. You're awakening to a different way of being. And if you're going to need to be a different person because your life is changing, not because you're not good enough right now, um, you need to let go of the things that are simply acceptable for this part of your life and not the next part. See, we think that we can get to the next part while carrying all of the luggage from this part. So let's make an analogy. You are taking a fitness journey, right? You are going and you're going to be changing your diet, you're going to be working out, you're going to, do what needs to be done in order to drop extra weight, in order to gain the weight that will help you to feel stronger. So now you've done that. You've done it. You've successfully lost the extra weight, packed on the muscle mass. You feel the strongest you've ever felt. You probably weigh the same, right? So if you've lost about 45 pounds of fat, you've gained about 45 pounds of muscle, you weigh the same. Are you just the weight? Because I promise you, the dimensions of your body are completely different. Completely different. I remember I lost about 30 pounds of fat and I gained about 30 pounds of muscle. Now, my stomach was gone. All my jiggly parts were gone. But boy, oh boy, I couldn't fit my pants. I couldn't fit my pants. I couldn't get it up over my baby dunk. Yeah, I went up in pant size, but my waist size was way smaller. Way, way smaller. Can I continue to carry around this luggage full of the wrong size clothing? I could. What the hell is that going to do me? I can't fit my pants. I'm going to walk around in underwear. That's not an option. It's not an option. Yeah, we do this with our emotions all the time, our emotional baggage. We do this. Emotional baggage is not something to be ashamed of. That emotional baggage is like the identity that you wear, depending on which item from that emotional baggage you put on that day. That's what's going to determine the way you experience that day. That's what's going to determine how you perceive yourself through your experiences of that day. You ever put on an outfit that makes you feel like so different? Like most of my outfits are just very comfortable, right? They're very, very comfortable because I work from home. And I'm usually live streaming and in sessions in my jammies, which is fine. But when I want to get dressed up, it makes me feel some other kind of way. It's not as comfortable, no, but it's for a specific purpose, a specific event. You want to be polished all the time and be uncomfortable in your life for the sake of appearing polished? I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it kind of makes me wonder what's going on in your mind, in your emotions. Is it more important to impress other people outside of yourself than it is to feel comfortable within yourself? Because the way we carry ourselves externally is very indicative of how we feel about ourselves internally. And it's not to say that just because every time someone sees you, you're polished, that you're fake and you're trying to hide. No, some people, that's just their vibe. You know, my ex sister in law, she just really loves to doll up like all the time. It's not uncomfortable for her. I mean, I've seen her in outfits that I was like, girl, that's not comfortable. She goes, I know, but it's cute, right? And I'm like, yeah, it is. but you look uncomfortable. I mean, her objective was to look cute, not be comfortable. That's fine. But see, when you know that you're the kind of person where you want to be comfortable, but you know, you're making being polished, you're making your aesthetics the priority because you're afraid of what people will think. It's kind of just, I feel like you're not being nice to yourself. I just feel like you're not being nice to yourself. Doesn't make you a bad person, but you could be nicer to you. Ocean Lover says, even dressed up, my comfort is paramount. I've heard you say that before. You have fabulous outfits, by the way. And you always look like you're very comfortable in what you're wearing. It's amazing. And you have all the accoutrements. I love it. I love your aesthetic. I love your aesthetic. And then the fact that it's comfortable too. I love that the most. I do. Um, so card number 49, self-acceptance. And then card number 32, ancestral magic in reverse. It's like we think that in order to accept ourselves, we have to reject this magical aspect of us. We have to reject the parts of us that are harder for other people to understand. And that's just not true. It's not. That's the ego taking over. And so you have to recalibrate and get the ego back in its proper place. And what's its proper place? Just kind of showing you where you're at within yourself, within your life. Just making sure that you're made aware of things, you know? This entire reading has a lot to do with just being aware where you're at within your journey. This period is going to be challenging for so many people. For so many people. Look at the news. Look what's happening. Look at all of the things they keep shoving in our faces. Just a lot of just horrible shit. Oh my God. Lisa says, years ago, a guy said to me, you have a beautiful face. Too bad you have shoulders like an NFL player. I carry that for years until one day I realized, yeah, drop that negative thought, girl. Oh my God. I'm over here like, sir, just because her shoulders make you feel insecure as a man does not mean you have to be passive aggressive. See, you already have weak shoulders, and to have a weak type of ego that would cause you to try and create insecurities within a woman shows me how much of an actual weak ass bitch you are. You might want to reel that back in because it's messy. Try and hide that a little bit better. I would absolutely say that shit to him. I'm just saying. I would absolutely say that shit to him. Girl, nothing wrong with a woman who has broad shoulders. Do you understand the type of fashion you could carry with broad shoulders? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, girl. I am just saying. Whew. You can easily create the illusion of an hourglass shape if you don't already have one with broad shoulders. Like, good God. Good God. With broad shoulders, like if I had broad shoulders, I would just, oh my God. I'm just saying. Ooh, I could do some shit with that, girl. Yeah. Currently, my shape is like a rectangle, which I guess is better than an upside down triangle. I love myself whatever shape I am. I'm just saying. There are just some shapes that are more aesthetically pleasing to my eye. you know, we just. I cannot believe, I cannot believe that someone said that to you. I cannot believe that. How much you want to bet they had a weak chin? Let me stop. Stop it. Stop it. Let me stop. With your weak ass chin. How you even talking? You're receding out. Let me stop. Let's bring Kuan Yin out. We need more gentleness in this world. Since I'm incapable of being gentle today, we shall involve Kuan Yin. Oh, here's her book. Oh. All right. Here goes. Here goes. Alrighty. Daughter of the Phoenix, card number 6. When the soul is ready to spread its wings, it goes through a deep cleansing, purification, and preparation for new levels of spiritual wisdom, power, and light. Just like the phoenix that is baptized through celestial fire to be born anew, you are now going through such a phase of heavenly purification, preparation, and initiation. This is an advanced phase of soul growth, and soon after, you will enjoy greater spiritual peace, divine power, and advancement on your divine life path. Kuan Yin, daughter of the Phoenix, has been through fire, both physical and heavenly, and has ascended into a position of great spiritual peace, power, and authority. She guides you now to claim your rebirth and ascend. In the same way that if we were moving house, we would need to sort through our possessions, and sometimes it is an opportunity to let go of that which we do not wish to take with us into our new life. As we prepare to move into a higher level of consciousness, there are old habits, stuck emotions, and stagnant energy that do not belong in our new life cycle. The path of purification and initiation by celestial fire is a preparation for spiritual enlightenment, greater happiness, well being, prosperity, success, spiritual responsibility, and leadership. It can be a challenging time as that which would stand in the way of a new level of spiritual potency must be eliminated. And often these things are deep fears, doubts, or questions about our own worth and ability. It can feel confronting to meet these parts of ourselves consciously. Yet we cannot let go if we don't even realize what we are still holding on to within us. This initiation will help you realize any old baggage or pain that will not resonate with the higher levels of light that you are preparing to live in. It can feel challenging at times, but know that there's nothing wrong. There's actually something very right behind these experiences. Do not fear the challenges. You would not be taking these spiritual exams if you were not ready to live at a higher spiral of consciousness. Have some faith in your own progress and remember not to get attached to what is leaving your consciousness as you are preparing to ascend. Letting go of old energies with trust, even if you do not always consciously understand what is happening, is the quickest way to be able to ascend easily and gracefully. To pass this initiation and benefit from it, we must be prepared to surrender that which needs to be burned away. Kuan Yin, daughter of the Phoenix, guides you to have faith and fearless trust that it is safe to let heavenly fire have its way, so that you may rise up anew into your spiritual destiny. The initiation is in its final phases when you are able to put your new beliefs and talents to the test, living based on your spiritual principles of trust, faith, and love. No matter what's presented now, it's an opportunity for you to apply your spiritual values and live your life accordingly. Then the celestial fire will have soon done its work, and you will arise like a glorious phoenix ready for a new life. It's time to allow yourself to let go of the things that, You need to let go of. Only you know what that is. There are certain things that other people might not understand the value of it, and they'll think that, because they don't know what the value is, that it's something that you should toss out. But when you know what it is, when you know what you could do with it, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's it's hard for us. It's hard for us to quantify the goodness that we are. It's very, very easy to begin thinking about all the bad things and make a list and convince ourselves we're a bad person and yada 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 yada. But are you really a bad person? Because if you're really a bad person doesn't give a shit if they're bad. A bad person will continue to be hurtful and harmful to whoever they feel like being hurtful or harmful to. They won't consider things, they won't pause. They definitely won't be here berating themselves because I said something. No. I say because of the fact that you're here and you're willing to see yourself and learn about yourself to the degree that we go to every single live stream, we go to such a deep degree. I'd say you're a good person in the process of realizing how good you actually are. Or even better, get rid of the entire concept of good and bad and just allow what is and what is not, right? I am not going to participate in that. I will continue to participate in this. Just really allowing yourself to be free of these human constructs that cause you to further shame yourself. That's a lot of demonic ass behavior. It really is. So I'm going to get going. But I want you guys to kind of check out the link that's scrolling at the bottom of the page. That is the revocation kit for those who are dealing with a succubus or an incubus. You get 3 white candles, 3 black candles, a specific flora and oil blend. You'll also get an elixir, that flora and oil smudge blend. You'll also get an elixir that's appropriate for this. In addition to that, each candle will be engraved with specific symbols that are meant to address the succubus and the incubus. Okay. If you have a lot of struggles with your identity, with your sexuality, in your relationships, all those different types, different symptoms of succubus or incubus infiltration of your life, interference. A succubus and an incubus, they don't want anyone around you. It's a sexual demon. They don't want anything around you. They get very, very jealous. They don't like your friends. They don't, and this is information you can find online. This is absolutely information you can find online. And if you have all of these types of symptoms, you probably could benefit from this revocation kit. Okay. It's available on my website, emmyevolving.com. If you'd like to purchase it, the link is at the bottom of the screen. In addition to that, if you just go to my website, emmyevolving.com, and you go to the soul shop, look under the apothecary, I have a wide variety of different things that you can choose from. But yeah, no, that's one of the things that I did pick up several months back, quite a bit of uptick in succubus and incubus activity on Earth. I did pick that up. I want to say around November time, maybe even as far back as like late September, early October. But it became undeniable, the uptick, in November of last year. So just be careful. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world that you don't have to be afraid of, but you do have to be aware of so that you can negate its effects on your life. Okay? Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see